and you're watching ACVariety.tv.
So a lot of people in the Chicago, Southland, and Northwest Indiana area ask me what's going on. One of the big things that happened this past 3 months was the 50th anniversary of Acorn Public Library in Oak Forest. They had an open house and actually gave a little speech and talked about some items that were going to be put inside of a time capsule. Let's show you a few clips of that right now. At the corner of Independence and Lydia Ponzak Avenue in Oak Forest stands Acorn Public Library. Acorn recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. In honor of this event, the library hosted an open house which featured various displays throughout the library, including photographs from throughout the years. Library dignitaries from throughout the decade attended the event, which featured a short speech by library director Zach Musil.
Because when you get right down to it, dig right down to the roots, Acorn Public Library District is a community library that grew from the community and its collective need, desire, and demand for a library. Trustees, voters, donors, community members, patrons, residents, representatives, employees, all of these people, both past and present, are contributive supporters of Acorn, who, regardless of whether they know it or not, have made and continue to make meaningful, affecting impact to the library and its development. This library is all of yours, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished. For that reason, I think Acorn's name is especially appropriate, which Richard Krebs, a second grade boy from Scarlet Oak, was responsible for. In 1965, he won the Name the Library contest, saying that he chose the name Acorn because it would start small and grow big. When Richard said this, you have to remember that the library at that time was little more than a group of concerned citizens organized into a library council, led by Fawn Hill, who later became our first board president. There was no building yet, not even the A-frame or the trailer, no staff, no books, except for book donations, which were being temporarily stored at Oak Forest Hospital, and district boundaries had yet to be drawn and finalized. And now look at us. We are still growing. We will never stop growing. An oak tree's limits are determined by the sky and the quality of its roots. Acorn Library's roots are in the community and our potential is boundless. A lot of thought, planning, research, and hard work went into putting this time capsule together. This by no means is intended to represent the entirety of the library's 50-year history. We have plenty of old photographs, newspaper clippings, and miscellaneous stored elsewhere, both physically and digitally, that do a better job at that. Nor is the time capsule meant to be a replacement of these historical documents, which I assure you are retained at the best of our abilities. This time capsule is rather a ceremonial marker, signifying the spirit of posterity, a well-intentioned effort to represent the library as it is today, in 2018, the year of our 50th anniversary, when we took the time to look back and honor all that came before us and made us what we are today, with the hope that this same spirit will carry on to those who open this time capsule in 25 years, in 2043, when Acorn Public Library District will celebrate its 75th anniversary. At the recommendation of many, including organizations that provide guidance for putting together time capsules, we will not be burying the time capsule. While burying a time capsule certainly feels more ceremonial, it greatly increases the likelihood that the contents will deteriorate and decompose. Instead, we will be locking our time capsule and placing it inside our library where it and its contents will be better protected. So in the contents of for the time capsule, we have these I Love Acorn Public Library because acorns that people have been filling out throughout September. Those are all going to go in there. I am not going to read all of them. We also have a literary feast, which is a collection of recipes from the Friends of the Acorn Public Library District. That'll be going into there. We also have The Adventures of Rascal, Squirrel. If you don't know who Rascal is our squirrel puppet mascot downstairs in Youth Services. And we had quite a lot of photos of him, and the staff really thought it would be great to include that into the time capsule. And he's also very beloved by our younger patrons. I am also including a remembrance letter from George Saunders, who is the author of Lincoln in the Bardo. He was a graduate of Oak Forest High School, and he won the Man Booker Prize for his novel last year, and he's the second American to ever win it. So it's a pretty prestigious thing that I actually was able to reach out to him, and he was able to provide us a copy of his book signed, and also he wrote a letter commemorating our 50th anniversary, which is on our website, which you can read in its entirety. We are also placing, even though we don't use these anymore, some card catalogs, what they used to look like. Thankfully, there is a lot of nostalgia with them, but knowing with all the advancement of the computers, it's clearly much more efficient now than having to do at least 3 of these for every single book that we had. We have our library card, some photographs of the library as it is today, a contents sheet. I also have the DVD version of the video that you've been watching, which is also going to be shared digitally next week on YouTube. We also have a bookmark which was dedicated to us by the Schmidt Company, and we have these available upstairs. We also have an example of some of the things that we used to give away, like Post-it notes, and at the FLA last year, or this year, we gave away these wooden dollar coins for library services when we were in the parade. I also have a current newsletter. This is a framed invitation to the grand opening of the library in 1968. And then I have the history of Oak Forest, which we also have copies available upstairs. And this I don't have. I think this is a one-of-a-kind thing that was sent to us by an attorney. But a Welcome to Oak Forest pack that you would get when you moved into the town. I think this is from the 80s. Yeah, 1980. And then we also have a polo shirt that a lot of our staff wears, and also a 50th anniversary T-shirt, which is also going to go in there. And other than that, there is a letter to those who do open it in 2043, and just written by myself, and also has some stats as to how many books we have in the library today, what our search numbers are, so when they open it, they can be shocked and amazed and like, I don't know. We'll see. And other than that, we have the time capsule contents list, which is basically what I just went through. On the opposite side, it gives, I put endnotes, basically describing what each of those items are and why the intention was why they were put in. So I do want to thank you all for coming. Obviously, I will go ahead and put the video back on. So thank you again for helping celebrate our 50th anniversary.